You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Today, Donald Trump did the National Prayer Breakfast, and guess what? He had the audacity to pimp all those stupid pastors who were sitting there and he tolerated and laughed at his silly ass. This is what he had to say about Nancy Pelosi and Mitt Romney.
Put through a terrible ordeal by some very dishonest and corrupt people. They have done everything possible to destroy us, and by so doing, very badly hurt our nation. They know what they are doing is wrong, but they put themselves far ahead of our great country. Weeks ago and again yesterday, courageous Republican politicians and leaders had the wisdom, fortitude, and strength to do what everyone knows was right. I don't like people who use their faith as justification for doing what they know is wrong. Nor do I like people who say, I pray for you, when they know that that's not so. So many people have been hurt, and we can't let that go on. And I'll be discussing that a little bit later at the White House.
If you are a pastor or a person of faith who sat in that room and said nothing as that fake-ass Christian had the audacity to question somebody else's faith, to question whether or not somebody actually prays for them, then shame on you. That to me, and we all saw the docuseries on Netflix called The Family.
Right. Ooh.
See, so we know the real truth behind this National Prayer Breakfast.
Come on, brother.
Right, come on.
The real truth behind this National Prayer Breakfast is nothing but a political front. This is not a real National Prayer Breakfast. This is a breakfast for conservative interests, pimping God, pimping the faith for their own political reasons.
Right. And woe unto them, because the Bible talks about there being blood on the hands that you can't wash off. And so I'm afraid for them because we are all mortal beings. And the other thing, too, is that there are millions and millions of people that are being led to believe that the way through faith is through power, is through the pockets of people. My father is a pastor, and he reminded me of something when we were talking about, like, what do these things mean, to just kind of give some balance around the intersection of politics and faith. And, you know, he told me, he said, E, this ain't nothing different. This has been going on since before the time and after the time of Christ. What I will say is something that the Bishop, Dr. William Barber, provided in the clarion call that he gave at the emergency convening at the CBC. And if you were not there, you need to go back and watch Roland Martin Unfiltered. They were there, live streamed it. And he talked about this being time to get your ass up. And he did not say this exactly, but get your ass up and start fighting.
Yes.
It is not time to lay down. It is time to turn down the volume on entertainment, because we can see where people's interests actually lie that do have power. They have become drunk with that power. And so it is time that people become activated. And that is not just through voting, but it is also through becoming civically engaged. So these conversations that we're having when we're talking about the courts and how there is a consolidation of power that is happening before our eyes as people are dancing their days away, that there is an understanding that we all, not just here on this platform, not just Roland to provide the information, but we all have a part to play in saving what's left of our democracy.
No, that's absolutely right, Erica. And you know, watching Trump at the White House today, that his victory lap speech was really something that could have been delivered by Andrew Johnson in 1868 after he was acquitted in the court. Listening to him And then, as you say, with this prayer breakfast, which we know what it is, I'm reminded that 2 years before Johnson was acquitted in 1866 in Pulaski, Tennessee, Nathaniel Bedford Forrest and his group formed a little organization called the Ku Klux Klan. And the core of the Klan belief is their interpretation of Christianity. They are protecting America from the hordes of blacks, and they want to put women back in the kitchen. This is the Klan philosophy. That prayer breakfast could have been a Klan rally. And those ministers, if you're a white nationalist minister, you in the Klan as far as I'm concerned ideologically, because that's what we saw at the White House. Only other thing I would say is this. I was looking for Ben Carson. I didn't quite see him in there. And Tim Scott, Trump shouts out from the podium. And I saw one other brother in there, so let's assume there were 3 there. Everybody else in there was white. These people are ideologically committed to one thing and one thing only, as Roland said, power, but their power is read through race and white maleness. Their Christianity excludes all of us. If Jesus Christ was here today, he'd be in an internment camp, or he'd be sitting here with us talking about fighting, or he'd be saying what Reverend Barbara's saying. Let us not mistake these people for any type of Christian. I'm not, don't worry, brother, I'm not praying for you. I'm praying against you because you are, in fact, as David Walker said in 1829, the devil.
Yes,
and anybody with you is a devil. So let's be clear.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You know, Trump is a complete degenerate. I mean, he is a serial sexual assaulter.
Yep.
He is corrupt. He's a criminal. He's surrounded by criminals. All of the GOP are his co-conspirators.
Yes.
So how dare he sit up there and lecture anybody, or like you said, question anybody else's faith, who certainly through their works have a much better product than what Donald Trump can point to. And, you know, speaking of the Klan, they don't even need hoods.
Nope.
They got Presidential Medals of Freedom at the State of the Union.
How about that?
So how about that?
Yeah.
So we got a lot of issues that are going on, and it's all out there in the open, and people are asleep, not woke.
And they need to wake up. We have to turn down the volume on entertainment. You cannot Instagram this.
Yes.
You cannot Facebook Live. You cannot laugh this away. This is an existential crisis, and people have got to get up off of their asses and connect with some type of civic engagement, with understanding. If you don't understand, that's fine. But thinking that these things are just going to go away, these people have their foot on our neck. If you were not born during the civil rights era, welcome to the civil rights era of 2020.
And let me just ask, why don't we, I'm talking to black people now, why don't we channel some of that energy that we have against each other?
Come on
and
now.
ripping each other apart. Now, I'm not defending Gayle King.
No.
Let's talk about Gayle King. Ooh, that came for Gayle King.
Yeah.
And Gayle King, you know, she came for somebody she had no business coming for. But why don't we direct some of that energy, some of that outrage, some of that, everybody's heard about it, but has everybody heard about the Mississippis? What's happening down there? Does everybody know what's happening? No. There's so much that's an immigrant, a person who was a mistaken identity, was shot in the face.
My God.
2 people.
So we're not directing our energy. We know everything, like you say, entertainment. We know all the Shade Room, Baller, all that stuff. I watch it too. Don't get me wrong. But we're not where we have that swell of energy. It's at each other.
It's at each other.
And not at the people that are doing the most damage to our communities and our society.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, join Dr. Jackie Hood Martin as she engages others to think like a leader. Are you looking to enhance your leadership or that of your team in 2020? Well, you can join her newest online course and mastermind group, How Successful People Think. She'll be your guide as you learn timeless leadership principles to apply to daily living. The offer expires February 28th. To register, go to www.livetolead.com/Leesburg. It's LIVE 2 LEAD.com/Leesburg. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video. You want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered? YouTube.com/Roland S. Martin. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. See that name right there? Roland Martin Unfiltered. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so when we go live, you'll know it.